Now, because it's completely formless, I'm just going to do this. This is the great mystery, the great beforeness, before time, before space, before matter, okay? The essence, God, universal mind, presence. Now, what can happen throughout history, people who are an expression of the essence, humaning, no separation here, guys. So an expression of the oneness, okay, this is an eyeball, will kind of look back at itself through the seemingly individual human experience, okay? And what happens is they have a huge epiphany and insight and a big aha moment. And they will create, they don't have to, because you could just have that and not say anything about it. But the people who do talk about it, they create a vehicle of the essence. And that vehicle could be the three principles. Another person fall into the ocean of all things, okay, and then they start talking about it, and then they create a vehicle. And that could be, I don't know, non-duality. It could be religion, it could be Buddhism, like whatever it is. Another person, this, falls into this complete essence, and they start talking about it. So non-duality, three principles, religion, law of attraction, a spiritual teaching, like whatever it is, whatever name someone gives to it, it is a vehicle. It's what that person has seen, has experienced via direct experience. Give us a head nod if that makes sense so far. Okay, now this is the essence here. Okay, these aren't the essence. They're an expression, they're an articulation, they're an attempt to express the essence. Okay. Now what happens is their followers or people who listen to them, okay, go, wow, that's the meaning of life. Or, wow, this totally explains everything and this is the truth of life. Another follower looks at this one and goes, no, this is the true essence of life. It's blue. Blue is the essence of life. And this person goes, no, it's orange. Look, it's orange. It's orange. And this person goes, no, it's green. The essence of life is green. So they start kind of being in conflict and disharmony. Now, this person's vehicle of this is kind of incongruous with that person's version of that, because this one talks about how an internal resonance can create in physical reality. And they call that law of attraction. Okay. And then this person, like non-duality, goes, well, no one's having a human experience. Nothing's happening. And so there's this incongruency with them. Now, my point of this is any articulation, any teacher, any teaching, any system isn't the original source. It's an articulation of the original source through the expression and belief system of the person expressing it. Give us a head nod if that makes sense so far. Okay. Now, what we try and do, and we're not saying you should do this, but we found this very helpful, is the original before time, space, matter source. Understandings, religions, teachings, systems pointing to that. Okay, now you, as a unique individual, we have to untrain ourselves to believing the vehicle is it. And what we have to do is bypass it and via our own direct experience go back to the original source. I'm sorry, no disrespect, Sydney Banks isn't the original source, nor is Jesus, nor is the Buddha, nor is any human being who's ever articulated it. The original source isn't a human, it isn't in words, it isn't in a description, it's before. Okay. Now, the other thing you could do, this is us, is you could go through your teaching to here, okay? That works as well. But I don't know. I mean, this may just be my belief system. For me personally, I've had to unlearn what I've learned to go to the original source. Now, I'll tell you what happens, okay? And I'm going to get back to, this is one of the reasons we coach the way that we do, and it's different from a lot of things. So Jules here, you didn't study anything. You didn't follow any teachers or teachings or understandings or modalities. You didn't follow any of these. And you had a near-death experience completely spontaneously, where you had an experience of the original source before humans' articulations of it. Can you tell these guys what happened for you on a personal, human, emotional life level?
Absolutely. Well, I had a compartmentalization of physical ailments and psychological ailments and a specialist to go along with each. And then I had a sudden cardiac arrest and fell into the cosmos, into my being, and saw that each and every beautiful, exquisite expression is just one perspective of source, one perspective of source, that there needs to be a uniqueness. So I came out understanding that I have this intuitive essence running through this instrument of consciousness of my physical body, allowing me to have a human experience, and that we're unique. From then on, I didn't live life via somebody else's template. I didn't live life trying to fit myself into this box. The world, the universe is a blank canvas of infinite potential that each and every one of you, with this intuitive essence, the source running through you, to paint on. And that took away so much self-judgment. My heart shrunk. Well, I mean,
so you had an enlarged heart.
I had a hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. So I got a little bit younger looking. I got a lot younger looking. And I felt better. There were layers of self-judgment that were just removed.
You had all those mental health labels.
Oh yeah, CPTSD, anxiety, depression, you name it, ADHD. But I now know that those are just expressing from this instrument of consciousness trying to fit itself into a box, that it's just not possible. It's not possible. It shouldn't be that way. There would be no experience if everybody was assimilated. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah. So having a direct experience of the beforeness or the essence has incredible, because you saw psychologists, psychiatrists, you had years of counseling, you still had all those mental health, we call them labels in England, I think you call them diagnoses in America, but they just fell away with an experience of this. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're talking from what we're saying isn't it either, because we're human using words, okay? But what we're trying to do is if this is you, if this is Tony or Sally or Arlette or Una, okay, this is you, we're trying to take you through what we're calling wholality, which is trying to de-thingify things. We're trying to take you through our words back to the original source. We're not trying to stop you there and get you to believe wholality is a thing. We're trying to use it as a vehicle to take you through to the essence. Okay.
Yeah. It's a reverse engineering, if you will. All of these, if we reverse engineer, we understand that each and every one of these humans experience something via their unique perspective. And I call that, it's a unique familiarity. It's like fingers on the hand, reverse engineering back inside of you to your intuitive essence, to your unique perspective. What does that mean for you? Not following somebody else's. And that's what we do. We point people back in the direction of themselves. And however that is going to express, it's going to express as it should.
So for instance, we literally teach people how to consciously cultivate their inner silence, how to consciously cultivate the communion within themselves of that wisdom, the communion within themselves of that intelligence, of that incredible health, that incredible unconditional love. Because what can happen, people can just keep listening to somebody else talk about it and read books of somebody else talking about it. And then we get attached to an understanding or someone else.
And we lose ourselves.
Then we lose ourselves and we start taking on belief systems about the beforeness. We have to go through or around
or back in
to anything we've ever learned or studied or teaching to the essence. Okay.
The essence that runs through you, that enlivens you.
So first point, and again, I don't mean to I don't mean disrespectful, but any human who's ever articulated anything, including ourselves, that isn't it. That's their interpretation of it. You have to go through that human or that understanding or around back to what is inherently, innately, pre-existing, never leaves you, source of all things. I remember briefly when my ex-wife fell in love with another man and she left, I had this pain like I couldn't even put into words, like just incredible suffering. And the suffering, which is interesting, lasted 3 seconds. And then all of a sudden, completely spontaneously, and this can happen sometimes with painful experiences, I fell into this again. And I'd never felt so peaceful in my life because I got reminded, oh, love just is. It's not attached. It's not objectified onto a thing or a person. It's already within us.
Yeah.
Okay. And in that remembering, it helped me navigate the divorce and separating and the house and the mortgage and the business we were running. The whole thing got helped. So I could have given people coaching on how to deal with difficult people, but when you fall into the source, everything is so much easier because you have a zoomed out perspective on all of it. Okay, my second point